I don't know who. I read the newspapers like the rest of you and watch TV, and they say it's Daniel Ellsberg, and he apparently has confessed. I think he's done a service to this country. He's all alone out there. And I think he's going to have an effect in ending this war. And I think...
This is Mike Gravel, 1971. Good-looking guy, right? 1971. He was reading the Pentagon Papers into record. The Pentagon Papers were a collection of top-secret documents that was essentially showing wanton destruction by the U.S. government in Vietnam and areas surrounding Vietnam. Many of those areas being illegal, and meaning the bombing. And he was reading this into record. Because, if you read it into record at that point, it becomes, it's in the record at that point. You can't prosecute Ellsberg. Ellsberg was under threat of being prosecuted, if I'm not mistaken, until this happened. He was running in the race. This guy was running for president. He's ran for president before, and that's kind of when he came to my attention, but he was also running in this race for president of the United States. And this channel was pushing for him to be on the debate stage because I would have loved for Mike Gravel to get on that debate stage. He missed out by one seat. It was essentially a tie break where Bullock eventually got the place that Gravel would have gotten, but he got the 65,000 individual donations necessary to be on that debate stage. So it was a pain that he did not get to the debate stage. And as you know, the third debate has different protocols necessary for a team to get on the stage. Gravel has suspended his campaign. Now, he's going to be Tulsi Gabbard's surrogate while she is doing her military duty. However, he's given out an endorsement. And that endorsement is going to go to one Mr. Bernie Sanders. Welcome to the Soapbox.
Here's Mike Gravel.
My name is Jamarl Thomas. This is the Progressive Soapbox. Guys, if you dig this content, you find yourself coming back to this channel often, please like this video, share this video, please subscribe. Also, if you definitely find yourself digging it, please consider supporting it through PayPal or Patreon. Even $1 helps. YouTube is somewhat untrustworthy as an actor in this process. And so this content is brought to you by you, and I appreciate you for allowing me to do this. This video is not going to be long. But I followed Gravel's campaign. Gravel turned his campaign over to a bunch of kids, and those kids were awesome. And they had the hashtag Dropout Delaney and everything else. And fact of the matter is, they got him from 0% to 65,000 individual donations because there were a lot of people who wanted Gravel to be on that debate stage. And my argument was the more lefties that were on that debate stage, the better. More the better. And apparently at least 65,000 people agreed with me. This is Gravel on Twitter endorsing one Mr. Senator from Vermont, Bernie Sanders.
Well, I'm proud and honored to endorse Senator Bernie Sanders for the presidency of the United States. Bernie has a program that benefits all Americans, not just the 1%. He will be a great president for all Americans. We have a simple choice. We can have a democratic socialism of Bernie Sanders to benefit all Americans, or we can have Republican socialism, which benefits the 1% and leads us to a constant state of war. The choice is yours. My name is Mike Gravel. I'm proud.
You know, what's interesting about that statement is the last part. Because, Sanders could lose. And it sounds like either one or two arguments are taking place. You can either have democratic socialism. Let me run that part again, because this part is interesting. There's an implication here that I'm unsure what he's making. Let's hear it again.
Sanders to benefit all Americans, or we can have Republican socialism, which benefits the 1% and leads us to a constant state of war. The choice is yours.
Republican socialism or democratic socialism. But I don't think Republican socialism is completely tethered just to the Republican Party. If you notice, he said you can have democratic socialism with a Bernie Sanders or Republican socialism, which leads you to a constant state of war. If I'm being honest, that could be a Joe Biden or that can be the Republican Party. It is unclear what he's saying. Either Sanders, I guess my point is Sanders is in the middle of a Democratic primary. And is he saying that another Democrat can't win? In which case Donald Trump will win if you don't put in Sanders? Or is he saying whether Sanders wins or not, even if the Democratic candidate wins, you're still going to end up with a Republican socialism of sorts that is going to continuously lead you to a state of war because, again, the Democratic Party has positioned itself to be just as hawkish as the Republican Party. But nevertheless, Mike Gravel, the indomitable Mike Gravel. There's Sanders' response to him. I want to get to Sanders' response. Thank you and welcome to the political revolution. I love that. A special thank you to those who made the campaign happen. Solidarity forever. As the campaign comes to an end, we wanted to take a moment to recognize all of the incredible staffers who made the campaign possible. And he goes in and he gives essentially a thank you to the various members of the campaign staff, because after all, they were on somewhat of a shoestring budget, and Mike Gravel essentially came out of nowhere. I mean, keep in mind, Mike Gravel even said himself that he didn't really want to be president. He just wanted to kind of play opposition against the current, let's say, established order of the Democratic Party. But as we are breathlessly told, Bernie Sanders is not a Democrat. The beauty of it is, if Bernie Sanders becomes president of the United States, whatever he is what it means to be a Democrat. I don't necessarily think that the party just changes overnight. I mean, even when FDR was in office, FDR had to fight his own party in order to get some of that stuff passed. I have no doubt that the same thing wouldn't necessarily be true. However, the president leads the party, not the other way around. And if the president has a certain, meaning the party is cast based on what the president is, not based on the random elements of the party, he is going to be pushing and cajoling and trying to move, reinsole the party in this case. Gravel, given his endorsement. Gravel said there were several campaigns that was at him for the endorsement. But I think the same rule applies as it does under normal circumstances when you're thinking about who you're going to vote for. It's the mythical other. It's, I would give my vote to X if I thought other people would give their vote to X because I want my vote to count. And my vote counts when it's lumped in a mass that can actually win. Sanders has been number 2 in this race, and in many respects, a solid number 2. He could win. And so if Mike Gravel is looking at his options, and he has one guy who's talking about cutting back on the war machine, and one guy who's talking about a democratic socialism of sorts, of expanding benefits for the larger aspects of the society, why wouldn't he support that? Why wouldn't he support it? So, shout out to Gravel. Shout out to Gravel. I'm not going to keep this long. I just wanted to point out that the Mike Gravel camp is giving its support to Sanders. I wonder, is he going to have Gravel out there doing campaign stuff? Either way, I don't care. Shout out to Gravel, and shout out for the endorsement. Thanks all. I'll see you momentarily.